Gents, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing okay. Now look, it is a reality that in the modern world, male standards have slipped incredibly far. Some of the things that men used to do for a given, some of the acts and behaviours that men used to display on a daily basis, have disappeared. And men have fallen in a lot of regards. Things like chivalry, things like general good manners are now things of the past among most men. But this is also an incredible opportunity for a small group of men who want to bring this back and want to go against the grain. You see, right now, a lot of guys are conducting themselves in this silly, goofy, unserious way. You know, they constantly choose comfort within their clothing and how they present themselves, and what that often ends up looking like is walking around in a tracksuit all day. Now, have I walked around in a tracksuit before? Yes, I have nothing against it for a specific and practical purpose. If you're going to the gym and you're going to get sweaty, there's no point wearing nice clothes because you're going to soil them, you're going to ruin them. Soil's probably not the word, I hope you don't shit yourself, but you're going to ruin them. So you want to be wearing something practical for the occasion. But a lot of guys have taken this too far, and they've gotten themselves to the point where they're very comfortable going out for social occasions wearing long baggy tracksuits, or, you know, these baggy flary jeans that guys are wearing today, looking like, you know, their clothing is poorly fitted, looking overly comfortable. And one thing that we did have right in the older generation is that guys used to dress to impress. Now that's not just to, you know, get nice comments, that's not just to receive praise, it's also a form of respect to the party of which you are spending time with. It's a form of respect to the person that you are in front of. You are presenting in a way that is respecting of them. And this is almost weird advice now. People hear this and they're like, oh God, that's a bit old school, isn't it? Well, is today so much better? People walking around wearing baggy, unfitted clothing, people never making an impression. We have guys that have never put on a suit in their life, ever, for any reason. And it's such an alien concept, because when a man is wearing a nicely fitted suit or a nicely fitted smart outfit, doesn't necessarily have to be a suit, he feels different. It's like his feet leave the floor. He feels better. He feels more respectable, feels more professional. But as I say, a lot of guys can't experience this, and they're going out for dates with really nice girls looking like crap. And I say, if you want to separate yourself and you want to distance yourself from this comfort culture, I would say disrespectful comfort culture, start changing your approach. Get rid of the flary jeans. Stop wearing the cozy joggers for situations and scenarios that are not appropriate. Now, I might add that, as a little caveat, there may be times where you're just running an errand and you're popping out for a few minutes. I think there are some scenarios where we can have some flexibility on wearing more comfortable clothing. If it's practical, then you get a free pass, but for anything remotely formal, for any sort of social occasion where you're gathering with anybody, dress in a way that is respectful towards the other person. Okay, don't be going on dates wearing really baggy clothes. Wear clothes that fit you, wear clothes that respect or show respect to the person in front of you. You taking the time to make yourself look good and look sharp tells them that you care about them. And that is a sort of traditionalism we need to bring back. Too many people are walking around just looking like a big bed sheet with all the bagginess of their clothing. It's ridiculous. So that's one thing that you can start doing that's going to separate yourself from the other people in our society, the unfortunately growing number of people who are choosing to present themselves in this way. Another thing that you can do is start to bring back things such as chivalry. You know, when you are getting serious with a girl, or even dating girls, it is important to do things such as pulling the chair out for them, asking them to, you know, hand over their coat so you can go and hang it up. You know, on the first date especially, ensuring that you're taking care of the bill, always making sure that you're holding the door open for her. These things go down very well. They are appreciated. You know, the women that appreciate them are the right women. Maybe there are some women that will say, I don't need a man to do that for you. I would say that's a walking, talking red flag. And she's signaling to you that that's not the type of woman that you want to deal with, because that is going to be a headache for you down the line. But the right women will really appreciate these signs of chivalry and these signs of basic respect. I mean, we're not talking about crazy things here, guys. Additionally, to follow up on this, ensure that you are genuinely taking an interest in her if we're talking about dating. Ask the right questions. You know, ask her about her interests. Ask her about the things that she likes doing. Maybe you don't want to get too serious within the first date, but don't be a guy who is talking about himself all the time and not giving her a chance to speak and actually boring her. I was having a conversation with a friend just the other day, and he was talking to me about something he had overheard on public transport. And he'd said that there was a guy and a girl, and this guy was basically trying to impress this girl, but he started spilling his life story to her and telling her all of the things that had gone wrong in his life, and also trying to big himself up. But by bigging himself up, he tried to massively overcomplicate his life. Instead of just saying what he did and what he likes to do, he would say, well, I do this particular thing for a profession as well, and I've got this thing on the side as well. I also do this, and there's another thing that I do, and I'm wanting to do something else, but it's not the right moment right now. And this person is just sat there thinking, oh my goodness. And I got told this story, and we had a discussion about it, because a lot of guys are falling for this and engaging in this way of conversation, particularly with the opposite sex. And I might add, this isn't just for relationships, this is for friendships, and this is for business as well. Don't talk about yourself too much. Take a genuine interest in the other person. One of the best books that I've ever read is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's a very old book. There's words within that book such as seldom, which are rarely used today. But if you're going to look past the really old text and get rid of your brain rot 2026 mindset, you will discover a lot of wisdom within that book that will help you to maintain and build and grow current relationships. But one of the main pieces of advice that I gathered from that is use your ears more than your mouth. Ask the right questions, then sit back and allow people to tell you what they want to tell you. It's a big sign of respect. But additionally, from a different perspective, it can allow people to snitch on themselves, and it can allow people to inform you of anything worrying or anything concerning that you need to know about. So look, present yourself well. Try and bring back chivalry. Try and be chivalrous when you are, dealing with a woman. Ensure the very basics, pulling the chair out, holding the door open, taking her coat. I'm trying to think of some really obvious ones, but I think for now you have a basic grasp. I'm sure there are more things that are going to come to you, but try and be old school. Don't try this, new school absolute equality at all costs thing, because the right type of girls, they don't value that. Oh, I'm not going to hold the door open for you because you're strong enough to do it, so you can just catch the heavy door. No, what are you doing, man? Stop it. Grow up. Don't be such a child, okay? hold the door open, pull the chair out. If you get yapped at by a girl for doing those things, then that's probably a sign that you two are not compatible, and it's definitely a sign that that is someone that's going to give you trouble down the line. It's not the type of woman that you want to be dealing with. But just because there are women that don't appreciate conventional and traditional chivalry doesn't mean that there aren't women that do. There are plenty. And there are a growing number of women that are getting sick of the state of the male dating market. And sick more specifically of the fact that chivalry is dying. So if you can be one of the guys that starts to bring it back, then you will notice more attention, and more of the right attention as well. Now finally, some of the very basic things that you can do just in regards to encounters with people, moving away from dating, but encounters with people. Ensure solid eye contact. Again, you don't need to be staring into somebody's soul, creeping them out, making them question their existence. A lot of guys do that. They're just bug eyes staring at somebody. No, don't need to do that. But what you do need to do is make some decent eye contact with people to basically show them that you are engaged, to show them that you are listening. When you're making an introduction with somebody, decent eye contact and a firm handshake. You know, don't present this sort of dead fish that a lot of guys do. You know, I shake some friends' hands and I feel like I'm going to break it. And I'm not even going that hard. I'm just holding this soft, weak hand in response. And I tell my friends, come on, bro, you've got to do it a bit firmer. Because if you go into a business meeting with somebody who's shaking thousands of hands, they're going to have a firm grip and they're just going to grip your hand and break it, right? So firm handshake, eye contact. Ask people's names. You know, when you meet people and you're at a networking event and there's 6 or 7 people in a huddle, take the time to go around that huddle, shake your hand, introduce yourself, ask their name, try and make a note of their name. You know, I'm not a person who's excellent with names, but I'll always try and make definitely a mental note, or sometimes even a physical note of their name, so I don't forget it. It's a sign of respect. So look, this video, I didn't want to go too specific. I wanted to be more general. But I made it because I feel like there are some really basic things that are being lost. Really basic traditional masculine qualities that at some point or another, if we keep going in the trajectory that we are going to be gone forever. And I hope that from watching this video, you agree with me, and you are a guy who wants to do his part to bring it back. I'm certainly trying to do my part. So don't be like the rest of them. Don't be presenting yourself in this cozy, comfortable way all the time. Again, the caveat I make is that there are some times where comfort is more practical. But let's not make that an excuse to just dress like shit all the time. It's disrespectful to the people that you surround yourself with. And it's disrespectful to yourself because what you're doing is actually cutting people off. By presenting in a certain way, some people won't even go near you. You know, you walking around in a grey tracksuit with a gold chain around your neck. Some people turn around and go the other way. They go, nah, I'm about to get robbed. No way. Or guys, even in the London area or the cities across the UK, wearing balaclavas. I hope that there is not a single viewer of mine that walks around wearing a balaclava, but for goodness sake, if you watch this content and you're out there doing that, please, my brother, rescue yourself. Take yourself out of this stage of life. You know, it's time to get serious, guys, is what I'm trying to say. And we can all do our bit. Again, there's times you want to be comfy, there's times you dress on a practical level. But that doesn't mean never dress to impress. That doesn't mean never look sharp. And a lot of guys have taken that comfortable, practical approach far too far. And they just look like shit all the time. So look, there's a few things we've discussed. Chivalry, presenting yourself well, ensuring that when you're making an introduction to somebody, you've got good eye contact, a firm handshake, you are remembering the names of the people that you meet. These are some basic things, but some things that if you do, will separate you from other men. Because most guys don't engage in this anymore. Most guys are of the mentality that this is old school, that this is backwards. And actually it's forwards. It's going to help you progress. So take it on board and see the results. Anyway guys, if you took some value from this video today, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts down below, and consider subscribing to my channel if you are new around here. Every single person that subscribes helps to allow me to reach a wider audience on this platform, so it is greatly appreciated. And look, if you do already subscribe, consider sharing my channel with a friend. If you've watched for the first time today, you've subscribed. Also, if you think someone in your network may take value from what I do, send it over to them, because maybe they do take some value. And as I said, that helps us to grow, and that helps us to reach a wider audience. Anyway, check out some of the links down below in the description. I hold a free men's Discord community. There's over 65 guys in there right now, making great progress both personally and professionally. So if you're a guy who has ambitions, you're a guy who's maybe wanting to get into entrepreneurship, there's a lot of guys who are quite similar to you within that group, and it might be a good idea for you to start networking with those guys. So click the link, absolutely free. And again, if you want to work with me on a one-to-one basis, there's another link down below in the description of this video. As always guys, thank you for your time and your attention, and I'll see you in the next one.